All right. Hello and welcome again to the pre-departure weeks. Thank you for joining the session. And sorry that we started a couple minutes later. We had some technical difficulties, but all sorted now. Just to quickly recap what the pre-departure weeks are, they are a series of online webinars to help you, students that have been admitted to start in Utrecht University this September, help prepare and make your decision to come here. We started with the webinars in April, and we are now in the final phase of this with the last couple webinars. So we hope that you found this useful and it helped you prepare. It ties well into then what's waiting for you when you actually arrive here. So while the pre-departure weeks were here to help you prepare before you got here, you do also, of course, need some help and guidance. As an introduction into the city. So today's webinar is an arrival guide introduction where we talk about the UU Welcome Week. The structure of the event, we will have a short presentation taking you through the details of the Welcome Week. During the presentation, feel free to ask any questions that you might have in the chat. Keep in mind the session is specifically about the Welcome Week, so if you have questions about other topics, you can always find information on our website or join the other webinars that we have. At the end of the presentation, we will also have a live Q&A where we pick out some of the questions that you sent and answer them live, so you can all also benefit from that. So let's get started then with the presentation. I will give the floor to my colleague, Anna.
Yeah, hi, my name's Anne, and I'm the project leader for the UU Welcome Week. So I'll be giving the short presentation about the Welcome Week, and I can also answer some questions, of course. And then Lydia is also here. Yeah, Lydia is our head of events, so she organizes all of the events for the Welcome Week. And she's here to answer the questions that you may have in the chat, as well as in the Q&A after. Yeah, so today we'll talk about what you can expect from the Welcome Week. So I'll take you through the preliminary outline of the Welcome Week, and yeah, just so you know what to expect, basically. So about the Welcome Week, it's a 4-day program, and this year it will be from August 27th until August 30th, which is Tuesday to Friday. And the Welcome Week is basically to help you get settled in Utrecht as well as at the UU. We will provide you with a mentor and a mentor group, which together, which you will go through the Welcome Week together. Yeah. Then this is a very brief overview of the program. On Tuesday is the day that we will be welcoming you. Wednesday, we will have a Students Association market. On Thursday, we will help you get settled with more practical information, as well as some workshops. And we will also have some workshops on Friday, but I'll show you the outline in the next slide. For now, I think it's important for you to know that when August approaches, you will receive a more detailed guide of the program. So that will, of course, include times and locations, etc. But you're also going to be able to see your personalized schedule on the registration website. So when you've put your study in, for example, we already link you to the faculty introduction programs, so you know when your faculty program will be. So if we can go to the next slide, I can explain that a little bit further. So here you see per day the drafted events, and some events will require sign up and some won't. For now, I think, yeah, it's we've communicated that, but I think it's very important that you arrive before the Tuesday. In the morning, we will have an opening show where we will introduce some important people who will welcome you into the city and at the UU. And then we will go into the city together with our mentor groups. We have some evening activities that we're planning, but they're in italics for now because they're not fully complete yet. Then on both Wednesday and on Thursday, there's going to be the faculty introductions. And this is what I was saying before, depending on which study you're doing, your introduction will either be on Wednesday or on Thursday morning, so you don't have both. Yeah, that will show up in your personalized schedule and the registration website later. Then in the afternoon on Wednesday, there will be the Students Associations Market, which is where all the student and study associations will be. So you can see what's out there at the UU, which club you might want to join, and they can tell you a little bit more about themselves. Then on Thursday afternoon, we will have the Get Settled Lab, which is more the informational market. So there will be a fair with important stakeholders and people who can tell you all about registering at the city, at the municipality, for example, or how to get a bike, stuff like that. We will also have some informational workshops then to really go more into detail about certain topics that you might be wondering about living in the Netherlands, for example. And we will have some culture workshops organized by student associations in the evening on Thursday, as well as sports workshops in the afternoon on Friday, also organized by student associations. Yeah, a lot of the events are without sign up, but then there are also, especially the workshops are with sign ups, and the sign up registrations will open later. You will receive an email about that, of course, but that will be towards the end of July, beginning of August. If we can go to the next slide. Yeah, then I think it might already be clear, but why should you join the Welcome Week? Basically, it is the week for international students to get settled in Utrecht, in the Netherlands. We hope to help you meet fellow international students, really discover Utrecht and the UU buildings, and that we can help you with any necessary information you might need for living in the Netherlands. Yeah, then what you can do now, if you haven't already, you can sign up via the link you received in your inbox. Please send us an email at welcomeweek@uu.nl if you are facing any issues signing up. I know there's some technical issues that people are experiencing, so please just send us an email about it. Some are very easy to fix and some I might have to do manually, but we are on that. We're working on it. It might take a little while until you receive a response because there's more people that might have some technical issues, but then you know that this is where you can reach us. You can also stay up to date via our Instagram. This is where we will post updates and also some general information, as well as student associations who have nice events for you organized. Those will also be posted there. And then once you receive your mentor group, which you will receive approximately 1 week before the Welcome Week, you can already ask some of your questions that you have there. So either your fellow incoming students can help you out or your mentor could. So yeah, that's what you could do right now. And then for now, I just want to thank you for your time, for being here. We are really excited. We can't wait to meet all of you. And of course, if you have any questions now for the Q&A, just let us know, and then we can hopefully help answer them.
All right. Thank you for that presentation. Hopefully it gets all of you excited for the Welcome Week. I know that all of us are definitely excited for the Welcome Week. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat now so we can use the last 10 minutes or so of this webinar to answer the questions. So if you have questions, maybe put them in the chat now. I don't know if Anne or Lydia, you think there are common questions that come up. We can also discuss that then, whilst questions come in, perhaps. All right, I see one question coming in that maybe is something more people are wondering. So until when is it possible to register for the Welcome Week?
Yeah, I'm looking at the exact date right now. 1 second. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's Sunday the Sunday the 11th of August. Yeah. So you have some time still.
All right. So what was the date again?
The 11th of August, midnight.
Okay. So if you want to sign up for the Welcome Week, you have until the 11th of August to do that. So make sure that you sign up in time. Then I see another question coming in about one of the previous webinars that we have. When will the recording be available? That will be available, I think, in about 5 to 6 days. So when it's available, you will receive an email with the link. It needs to be edited and posted on YouTube, so that's why it's not available yet, but you will get the recording, so don't worry. Then I see another question coming in. A student is enrolled in full-time summer school until the 30th of August. Does this mean it will be difficult to join the Welcome Week?
So I think it depends, of course, a little bit from what time to what time the summer school will last. But you can enroll for their, of course, you can always enroll for the Welcome Week and just join the events that you can. There will also be some evening activities, so you could definitely join those. And then I would just suggest that you communicate to your mentor that you will only join the events that you can. But you're always welcome to only join certain events.
Great. I think, that's a good thing to know as well. Indeed, it's, of course, up to you to decide, what events you want to participate in. Of course, all is super nice, but that is up to you. Then I see another question about maybe, how long it might take to get an answer if you send an email. I see a student saying I sent an email the 29th of June. It can take a bit of time, and it also might be that the email was sent to the wrong inbox or something. It will always get redirected in the end. But if you didn't get a reply yet, you can also just send another email letting us know. So you will get a reply. Sorry if there's a bit of a delay. It can be busy weeks. Then I see another question that I think is also very important. So a student asks that they are aware that there is another Welcome Week, the Uitweek, from the 12th to the 15th of August. What is that? And maybe what is the difference between that and this Welcome Week? And would you suggest joining that one as well?
Okay, so about this Welcome Week, it's mainly attended by Dutch students. It's also fully organized by a Dutch student board. So it's quite big. I think they do some of the same events that we do, but yeah, some might be a little bit bigger. I think if you're already in the Netherlands, it could be nice to join that. I am not fully sure how much English there will be. I know that they can make some English speaking mentor groups, but I don't really know how much of the whole week is actually Dutch or English spoken. So if you're wondering about that, I would suggest sending them an email, because I don't really know. But I know that it's mostly attended by Dutch people and Dutch spoken, but it could be super nice to join that if you have, for example, like an English spoken mentor group.
All right, great. So indeed, good to know that the UU Welcome Week, what we're discussing in this webinar, is specifically for international students. So it's really also focused, of course, on things that might not be as relevant for Dutch students who already live in the Netherlands and don't need to know about registering at the city or getting a bicycle, or what student associations are. So a lot of the content in this Welcome Week is really different, definitely, to the Uitweek. And indeed, a lot of the other Welcome Week, the Uitweek, is in Dutch. So yeah, you can always contact them to ask, but yeah, it's up to you. And I mean, I think it's always fun to participate in things if you're here. But yeah, thanks for asking that question. I think it's useful. All right, then some more questions. I see one question asking whether perhaps there is a limit on the number of students that can register. Is this Taylor Swift concert? Should people register really quickly, or is it okay if they wait just until the deadline?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I think for the Welcome Week in general, there's no limit. However, for certain workshops, but we will also communicate that very clearly once the time is there. For some workshops, there will be limits, yes. The workshops will be all in smaller groups, and you can pick which ones you go to. But that also means that when those are full, they are actually full unless someone drops out and you can subscribe again. But for the ones where that is relevant, we will also communicate that clearly. But for the Welcome Week in total, there's no registration limit or capacity, whatever.
Great. I see a couple more questions coming in about yeah, maybe not being able to attend part of the event. So we touched on this earlier, but I see still quite some people asking, hey, I can only join 2 of the 4 days, or I can only be there for 3 days, or I'm going to be 1 day late. Yeah. What should students do in that case?
Yeah, so what I also said before is that it's always okay to just join for certain events. I think if you know already that you can't participate in certain events that do require a sign up, then I would suggest not signing up for those so that other people could take that spot. But for events that are open to everyone, you don't have to do anything. You can just register for the Welcome Week and then only be there, like, for example, the last 2 days. However, I would suggest that you contact the mentor group and the mentor about that, just so they know that they can expect you the last 2 days or just the last day, for example, because for them it's good to know how many people will approximately show up on the event. You don't have to let our team know, for example.
All right. Maybe then I see some questions coming in about the mentor group and about mentors and when they will be in contact with the mentor group / mentors. Maybe we can just recap, like, what is the mentor group, who are the mentors, and yeah, when do they come in contact?
Yeah, that sounds good. So the mentors are all either previous students or current students at the UU who want to help show you around Utrecht, show you their favorite spots, can help you with any questions that you may have. We will put you in contact with them 1 week approximately before the welcome week starts. And how that works is that we give the mentors your information, and then they will create a WhatsApp group chat or an email list with a link to WhatsApp group. That's how we usually do that. And that way you will be put into a group randomly, and you will get assigned a mentor.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Then another question I see coming in is, I guess, about the scale of the welcome week. Is there an approximation of how many people you expect to be participating in the welcome week?
Yeah, we expect around 2,000 to 2,500 people to sign up. That's what has been happening the past few years. And the actual people attending is always a bigger question, of course, but yeah, we expect between 2,000 and 2,500.
All right, great. Then I see a question coming in about the costs of the welcome week. So in case it wasn't clear, indeed, the welcome week is free of cost, but I see a question coming in whether there are extra costs to participate in certain activities.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. In general, we don't ask for that. However, there might be some activities that we're arranging with, for example, local places in Utrecht that are offering you a deal, or we're basically we will basically then tell you this is what you can do tonight in Utrecht, but then that might come at an extra cost. But you would, for example, have to pay that at the bar yourself. But for the welcome week itself, we don't ask for any money. I do also want to note that there, like in terms of catering and stuff, we will also communicate that later. But for most days, you will probably need to take some of your own food or arrange that. But we will get back to you as soon as we know exactly what we can and what we can't arrange within the budget.
All right, great. Then I see another question that came in. Do students need a UU ID card to enter the welcome week?
No, you don't. You just need a student ID. So you just need your ID number to sign up for the account. And once you've done that, we will cross-check everyone, and then you will receive a wristband from us. So through the wristbands, we know that you're part of the welcome week.
Maybe good to know in general, the UU does not give physical student ID cards. So your ID card is typically just something you have on your phone when you download the UU app. And all of your downloading of any UU programs happens through your Solus ID, what Anne just referred to. And this is also the ID, or the student number. Essentially, your Solus ID is your student number, and this is what you need to sign up for the welcome week, but also to basically log into your timetable, to access your online student ID card, etc. So yeah, I think that might be good to know as well. Then I see another question coming in about whether there might be Dutch language classes for non-Dutch speakers during the welcome week.
There will be Dutch language class providers attending during the welcome week. We sometimes have a small Dutch workshop during the culture workshops, but that shouldn't be counted as an actual Dutch language class. And if they are happening, then they're not arranged by us. Yeah.
Yep. Great. I think that then we have used up all of the time in this webinar, and I think we've answered most of the questions. Yeah, so thank you, Anne and Lydia, for helping out with the webinar, and of course for all your effort in organizing the Welcome Week, which I'm sure will be amazing. Thank you, all of you, for joining this session. And looking forward to seeing you here in Utrecht. We will have probably 1 or 2 more webinars as part of the pre-departure week, so keep an eye out on your inbox for that. And you will also receive the link both to this webinar and to the previous webinar that we held in that same email. So keep an eye out on your inbox for that. Thank you and have a good weekend.